This video is brought to you by Legacy of Discord Furious Wings. Check out the new action RPG for iOS and Android and customize characters for epic real-time battles in both single player and co-op. Once you start, you just can't stop. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 addictive video games. For this list, we're looking at games that have a reputation for facilitating hundreds, if not thousands of hours of play among gamers. Number 10, League of Legends. Online battle arenas are often at the front and center of the gaming community these days, and while Dota 2 would indeed be a worthy contender, we gotta give this spot to League of Legends for garnering more votes on our suggestion page. So, if this angers you, get out and vote, buddy. Whether you're a casual fan just trying to increase the level of your favorite character, or are so deep into the Nexus that you're aiming at the World Championships, once you step into the battleground, it's rather hard to leave, lest you fancy a blade in the back, courtesy of Katarina. Number 9, Pokemon Go. Who doesn't want to be the very best like no one ever was? Taking the world by storm upon initial release, the urge to actually go outside and be able to catch Pokemon was so strong with some people that it actually led to the occasional human stampede. With a new pocket monster literally everywhere you went, the urge to head out in search of that elusive Dratini or evolve your current team captivated many fans. It's scary to think what would happen if Mewtwo should appear. Ugh. Number 8, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Completing mundane tasks inside a quiet village has never been so much fun. After being given the position of town mayor, players will not only end up investing hours into customizing their avatar, as well as their living space, but also the environment around them. Helping out citizens, investing in new properties, creating your dream town may seem like an arduous task, but with the game's level of detail, it's far from a chore. And that's not even mentioning the 3DS's online capabilities, letting you easily transition and explore towns created by other players. You'll be spending so much time in your new home that the real one will kind of seem like an afterthought. Number 7, Diablo II.
Well met, noble paladin. It's been a while since I've seen any of your kind in the West. It would be an honor to aid you in any way that I can.
Bringing back the dark fantasy setting that made the original Diablo such a hit, this gothic sequel blends together an improved item system, diverse character classes, the inclusion of a hardcore setting, and, most importantly of all, the option to play through the entire game in online multiplayer. On the cusp of the MMORPG revolution that would soon follow, it's easy to see how a digital Dungeons & Dragons-esque experience would cause friends to band together and devote their time to taking up arms against the ultimate evil that is Diablo. Number 6, The Sims series. There's nothing quite like playing a god in the lives of your favorite virtual family, only growing bigger with each entry in the franchise, not to mention all of those expansions. Players were given the chance to create the ideal life for their Sims by influencing their careers, romantic interests, and life goals, not to mention build some pretty sweet houses.
Oh, Gakulango need.
With the ever-increasing size of the sandbox environment and the variety of jobs and household items, you'd be forgiven for losing a few days tending to your new fam. Then again, if you're just in the mood to get rid of them all, then you can always give Death a call. Number 5, Civilization 5.
You
can't just create an entirely new culture and not expect to invest an obscene amount of time cultivating and developing them into the world's next superpower, now can ya? As one of the longest running and most popular 4X video game series, this entry was packed to the brim with content, and that's excluding the replayability factor and expansions.
I love King, and not the bitch.
Whether you rise to the pinnacle of humanity via diplomacy and social convention, or through the sheer might of military force, each civilization you build is guaranteed to be a unique experience in itself that you can pour hours into. That is, just so long as you don't get itchy trigger fingers with all those nukes. Number 4, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. As the Dragonborn, you're tasked with stopping the world from falling into the fiery clutches of Alduin, as well as preventing a bloody civil war. And you know, all of that takes time. What's so thrilling about Bethesda's magnum opus is that you can ignore the main questline entirely and still have so much epic fantasy left to revel in. From hunting down dragon shouts, completing various miscellaneous missions, slicing apart every dragon you come across, joining one of the many factions, or just getting blindly drunk, your stay in Skyrim will not be a short one. Fallout 4 offered a similar experience, but in this case we're just gonna have to choose Sovngarde over the Commonwealth.
I can't believe it. You're Dragonborn.
Number 3, Candy Crush Saga. We've all been there. We find ourselves thinking that a little match 3 puzzle game will be an easy way to kill some time, and before you know it, you're taking every opportunity to have another chance to line up those candies and clear the board in the hopes of reaching the next level. Its simplicity is its greatest hook, and the fact that it's free to play is just a cherry on top, although those in-app purchases can push this game to dangerously addictive levels. With over 2,500 levels just waiting to be conquered, this particular video game addiction is pretty easy to slip into. Just be careful with your credit card, please. Number 2, Minecraft. In its inception, this title was nothing more than a sandbox game that allowed players to explore and build their own little world. With survival and creative mode offering the initial bulk of the game, it wasn't long before players were slaying the infamous Ender Dragon and building some very impressive constructs. With the introduction of online multiplayer, however, the game has taken on a whole new dimension with user-generated content, allowing players to expand their biomes to new heights. And with mods constantly pouring in, it's no wonder players are practically getting a different game every time they play. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, World of Warcraft.
You shall be king.
Standing tall as the king of MMORPGs, World of Warcraft has been capturing gamers for well over a decade now, and shows no real signs of slowing down.
Our time is short. I will deal with these intruders.
With a rich, lore-filled fantasy world, players not only have a huge bulk of quests to complete and a wide array of customizable items for their avatar, but also expansion packs that feature a massive amount of content in and of themselves. Throw in the essential factor of multiplayer, so you can take on the likes of the Lich King and Burning Legion with your friends, and you have the makings of a game that won't be letting you take a break for real life anytime soon. Do you agree with our list? What do you think is the most addictive video game? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com. This video was brought to you by Legacy of Discord Furious Wings. Check out the